Test. I'm a third.
John Malloy Broadcast Club, home of all Cubs sports. Find us at cubcast.org.
All right, welcome back. Welcome here to basketball. This is our first home game or second home game of the year in 2024. We welcome the Sierra Canyon Trailblazers playing your Loyola Cubs here tonight, and I'm joined here with...
This is Frank Lichman, also calling the game here. This is going to be a outstanding matchup of two Mission League rivals. The Trailblazers joined the Mission League last year, of course, while the Cubs are perennial Mission League contenders. This is going to be a really exciting game tonight. Obviously, anytime Sierra Canyon comes to town, it's going to be a very exciting, big production here. A lot of big names there on that Trailblazer team. But, you know, I really cannot stress this enough. Do not sleep on these Loyola Cubs. These Loyola Cubs play with heart. They play with grit. And they have the tools to pull off an upset here tonight. So I cannot wait for this game.
And speaking of the Loyola Cubs, they are coming off a 2-loss streak. They're looking to get back, and hopefully this is the game that they get back. So now we rise for the national anthem.
There's absolutely nothing like paying your respects to this wonderful country and then watching some of this country's finest young men competing at the highest level.
And as we get ready for player introductions, let's get into the stats and records of this team. 12-8 for the Loyola Cubs, facing off against the 17-1 Sierra Canyon Trailblazers, off on a 12-game win streak. This is the second league match for each opponent, and the Cubs are really coming off the special opportunity that they had playing at Crypto.com Arena in downtown Los Angeles, where they just barely lost to St. Augustine. But senior Nico George and Coach Powell loved playing there. They loved getting that experience, and hopefully they came together more as a team, as a shared experience, and hopefully we see that here tonight.
As the Trailblazers introduce their starters, it's time to introduce the starters for your Loyola Cubs. Sophomore number 4, point guard Quincy Watson. One of the best young players on this team. Number 13, Kai Klein. He's a big presence there in the paint. Number 12, Joe Murner. He can shoot. He's got a nice mid-range shot. Watch out for that. Jonas DeCrassel has been battling an injury all season, but still managing to contribute to this team. And Hugh Vandaway, the center for this team, the biggest guy in the team, and just an absolute workhorse for this Cubs basketball squad.
And like we said, as a workhorse, we're going to look at some of the keys to the game tonight. Coach Powell said 3 games. Stop Pippen's son. Stop Pippen's son. We got limited turnovers, and we got to play good fundamental basketball for Loyola. Those are the 3 keys to the game here for your Loyola Cubs tonight.
As we get ready for this opening tip-off, Carson, one question for you. What's the biggest thing you want to see out of this Loyola Cubs team?
I mean, obviously the biggest thing I want to see is a win. That would be absolutely insane.
And the Cubs get the tip-off as Kai Klein with the ball now. He's going to give it to Watson, the point guard, number 4, dribbling it up on the near side. Watson fighting the press from number 22. He's going to give it to Klein. Klein driving down the middle. He finds a nice cut from Jonas, and he lays it up for the 2.
As Loyola gets the first basket here, Jonas DeCrassel, like we said, battling injuries, coming back. He's been playing pretty decent. He takes good shots, and when he takes those good shots, he usually scores.
It's going to be number 12, Bryce Cofield with the ball down on the baseline, and that's going to be number 25, Majuk Chual is fouled, and he's going to be heading to the line for the first the charity stripe for the first free throws of the night. Foul is going to be charged to number 13, Kai Klein, the junior. Majuk Choi, obviously just a massive presence out there as he takes the first free throw and misses it. But he is a 7-footer. That is not something you see in high school basketball. That's not something you see in the NBA every day, let alone high school basketball. But Southern California really is the best place for high school basketball in the country. And he's going to miss that second free throw. He goes 0 for 2 from the stripe. And it's going to be Hugh fighting the press here. DeCrassel manages to get it to Murner. Murner's working up court, fighting off a lot of defenders. Crassel finds Watson on the three-point line. Hugh with it now. Back to Murner. Klein in the corner. Klein dribbles up to the top. He's going to give it back to DeCrassel. Now Watson with the ball. He's going to slow it down. Watson takes it to his right. He's going to give it back to DeCrassel. DeCrassel signaling for someone to give him a screen. No one does. Murner with the ball. He's going to drive in. Finds DeCrassel in the corner. DeCrassel puts up the 3 and hits it.
And there we go. Just like we said, whenever he takes a shot, it is usually a smart shot. And right there, he's had the first 5 points for your Loyola Cubs.
Bryce Cofield with the ball moving it now. He's going to give it to number 11. That's Noah Williams. Williams with the ball. He's going to give it back to Justin Pippin. Pippin for a long 3, and it's no good. But the 7-footer, Majuk Chol, gets the rebound and gets fouled once again. You know, we're certainly seeing it be a factor here early. It is very difficult to play defense on someone that is nearly a foot taller than you. Hard to do that without fouling.
And as you can see, the rebound game is going to be huge for tonight, as a lot of these players who start for Sierra Canyon are pretty much bigger than a lot of, or taller, I should not bigger, but taller than a lot of these Loyola Cubs.
If you look at the matchup here, just on paper, as Chol takes his first free throw and makes it, Trailblazers are on the board here, 5-1 Cubs. If you look at just on paper, the Trailblazers have the advantage, but I really think that Loyola shines at the intangibles. They have heart, they have hustle, as Majuk makes that second free throw. It's going to be DeCrassel looking for the inbound pass. He's going to give it to Murner. Murner looking for an outlet. He's going to heave it up to DeCrassel. DeCrassel working there. Trailblazers are pressing really heavily.
Gotta get out of this half.
Going to give it to Hugh. Murner manages to beat the 8-second violation. But he loses the ball, but gets it back, gives it to Kai Klein now. Kai Klein cornered up by the center line. He's going to give it back to Quincy. DeCrassel with the ball.
And like we talked about earlier, Quincy, even though he's one of the smallest guys on the field, he is a playmaker out here.
Arguably the best player on this team.
Really.
It's going to be shot clock winding down. Puts up a shot. No good. It's going to be number 12. That's Bryce Cofield taking the ball up the court. He spin moves. Quincy Watson, there's probably a 1.5 foot height difference there between Watson and Cofield.
As Loyola really has, I mean, they have everything to play for, but nothing to play for at the same time. Everyone wrote them off about this game. Can they provide a huge upset here with a 3-point lead?
Noah Williams with the ball now. Williams going to give it back to Pippin. Pippin driving down. He's going to find the outlet, but it's stolen, broken up by Hugh Vanderway. Nice play there by Hugh. He's going to give it back to Joe Murner. Hugh up, taking it past midcourt. He's going to give it to Watson. Number 4, Quincy Watson, the sophomore, gives it to Murner. Murner back to Watson. Watson working the perimeter, looking for someone to be open. Murner drives down to the baseline and throws a pass, but it's intercepted, but then recovered back by DeCrassel. DeCrassel driving into the paint, gives it out to Murner, drives along the baseline, throws it to Murner, but it's intercepted there by Bryce Cofield, as it's going to be Trailblazer ball.
That's what we talked about earlier. We got to limit the turnovers.
Yeah.
As the Cubs, as Sierra Canyon has scored 30 points off of turnovers just this year. Can they cash in on one here?
Yeah. It's going to be a number 11, Noah Williams, gives it to Cofield. Cofield drives in, puts it up, no good. It's going to be Majuk Choal on the tap-in. 7 foot tall, just way taller.
Hey, sometimes it helps having that height.
Muscles in.
And it looks like we're going to get our first substitution. Look like Nico George.
Another press.
Senior.
It's going to be a travel there on Joe Murner. Let's see if Murner checks out after that. Nico George going to be coming in for Jonas DeCraswell. So it looks like head coach of the Cubs, Jermaine Powell, is going to be looking to limit DeCraswell's playing time. As we have said, he suffered a very serious injury during the preseason. So
And
that is definitely something to keep an eye on.
Also, number 11, Tyson Powell checked in for the Cubs. Here they keep Hugh Vandeweghe in. That's what we're talking about. We're going to see a lot of small ball tonight for Loyola.
Tyson Powell, another small underclassman player, playing against these highly touted Sierra Canyon players. And it's just really amazing to see as there's a three-pointer, no good from number 22. That's Jaden Alexander.
And Powell wisely lets it go out. So, yeah, as we look at this team, not that much height coming off the bench. We got Zane there, who we should see tonight coming off the bench. But it's going to be mainly Hugh that's going to be doing a lot of hard work, hard, dirty work down low.
Hugh is the biggest on this team by a lot. He's the only true big man on this team, as they're going to give it to Nico George there on the right-hand side. Give it back to Quincy Watson, the point guard. He's got great handles. Now Merrick Bernstein, number 10, also in the game for the Cubs. It's going to be Quincy. Back to Merrick. Merrick pulls a deep three, and it is good. Merrick Bernstein, the junior, sinks another deep three, and now he's guarding Justin Pippen, who has the ball.
Merrick so far this season has been shooting 40% from outside the arc, and there he takes down another one.
Pippen is a lethal shooter. He can shoot the lights out of this building. It's number 1, Justin Pippen, the son of famous NBA player Scottie Pippen, is given number 20, Bryce Cofield. Cofield out to 22. That's Jaden Alexander. Misses the three. No good. Alexander gets his own rebound, drives in, and puts it up, and it's good.
Good defense there from George, but nothing he could do about that tough shot.
Jaden Alexander, another highly touted prospect. I mean, you look at this starting five of the Sierra Canyon team, I am willing to bet you that all of these players will find a home at a D1 college.
And like we said, I talked to Coach Powell the other night, and Coach Powell said that 9 different players on this team have college offers, D1 college offers, which is absolutely unreal.
That means you basically have 2 full starting teams of Division I.
Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have 2 on our team, which is still fantastic. But
Jonas and do you have any? As Quincy pulls a three, no good. Nico fighting for his rebound, but Pippen's going to get it and take it up the court. Pippen driving. Pippen on the fast break. Gives it number 22, Jaden Alexander, a three, and it's good. Trailblazers take a 9-8 lead here in the early going as Watson and George have a little bit of a miscommunication there, but George gets the ball back. Trying to fight this Trailblazer press, half-court press, as they lob it up to Bernstein. Bernstein, now Cubs have numbers. Bernstein going to drive to the baseline. Tries to put it up, but gets fouled. Gets the ball knocked out of his hands, but it's going to be out on the Trailblazers. So Cubs have a chance to show their baseline plays here. Let's see what they can do here. I'm sure Coach Powell has something drawn up.
And Merrick, it should be mentioned that Merrick Bernstein as well as Tyson Powell have scored both 4 points off the bench, 4 points per game. That's tied for the best. So the bench is making a difference so far for Loyola as Hugh gets
Hugh not in the game right
here.
now, so Cubs really don't have a lot of size in this court. Murner's the biggest, I think maybe 6'3".
Yep.
It's going to be a foul on the Trailblazers there. Number 4, Ethan Johnson charged with the infraction there. So it's going to be another chance for these Cubs to inbound. It's going to be George inbounding. That's number 1.
Looks like Quincy Watson has stayed in so far for the entire first quarter, the only one that has not gotten subbed out yet.
Nico George, the senior guard, passes it to the wrong team, and it's going to be a fast break there for the Trailblazers. It's number 11, Noah Williams, who's fouled there.
And Nico George coming off the bench has had 22 turnovers, and right there he just adds another one to his list. But, man, hopefully he can clean those turnovers up because that is not what our Loyola Cubs need, as it looks like Jonas DeCraswell is going to come back in. As Noah Williams takes his first free throw of the night and makes it.
Trailblazers up now by a bucket, 10-8.
Hugh comes right back in. Murner comes out. Quincy Watson comes out as well, takes his first rest of the night.
Coach Powell is going to be asking a lot of Hugh. He is really going to have to play a stellar game in order for the Cubs to have a chance to compete in this one.
I mean, he's done a lot of work inside and outside the paint as well. He's taken the most shots out of anyone on this team.
Williams puts up his second free throw and makes it, so he is 2 for 2 from the line there.
Like we said, Hugh has taken 231 shots
Bernstein
so far.
looking for someone to be open, time running down. He gives it to Hugh. Williams guarding Hugh very closely, making his way up the court. He's going to get it. Breaks the press, but loses it with a behind-the-back dribble. Number 10, that is Bryce James, is out of bounds there, so it's going to be Cub ball. Bryce James, a bit of an odyssey to get him to find his way back to Sierra Canyon. He transferred to Notre Dame over the summer, spent a couple months at Notre Dame, but then went back to Sierra Canyon to play this basketball season. So a bit of a circuitous journey, but he's back, and he's making his impact felt coming off the bench here for the Trailblazers. As that's going to be a fast break. That's number 20, Isaiah Elohim. He's going to miss that one there. It's going to be Hugh on the rebound. Hugh, number 33, taking it up the court. He's going to take it cross court. He's going to find Merrick. Merrick sidesteps one defender, puts up a three. No good. But, you know, you got to like that look. Merrick's such a good shooter as number 4, Ethan Johnson, dishes it out to 11, Noah Williams, who misses the three. It's Isaiah Elohim on the rebound. Elohim moving on the freshman Powell. Puts up a mid-range, and it is no good.
And the Cubs
Powell, the freshman with the board. Look at him getting in the stat book.
And the Cubs got to take advantage when Majuk Chol is out, because that 7-footer is a menace in the paint.
Yeah.
And we need to take advantage of that.
Definitely.
As he will look to get inside, hopefully, as he takes an outside approach here.
Hugh working on Williams. Nothing doing, and he's going to travel again. So the Cubs have been shooting themselves in the foot here in the early goings. A lot of self-inflicted wounds here, a lot of turnovers, and they just can't have that if they want this to be a competitive game.
As like we said, Zane Nur coming in for Hugh Vandeweghe, as well as Bernstein comes out and Kai Klein comes in. So Kai is the size right now in this Loyola team. Zane, also the other tallest guy out there. Not the buffest guy, but he has had a leader in blocks so far this year. Him and Hugh are tied with 4 apiece.
Pippen working the ball. It's going to be number 0, Jordan Askew, making his first appearances. That's number 10, Bryce James with the ball. James with the ball up near the three-point line. Gives it back to Askew. Askew back to Pippen. Pippen to Askew. Askew looking for drives, and he puts it up, and it is no good. Number 34, that's Zane with the rebound. He's going to give it to DeCrasso. DeCrasso taking it up the court, making a move there on Pippen. Puts up a drive. Interesting shot there, and no good. It's going to be a fast break for the Trailblazers, but they may have just squandered it. And they did as they threw it away. So the Cubs get a break there. But the Trailblazers are unable to convert on that potential fast break opportunity. And it's going to be Cub ball. DeCrasso with the inbound pass here. He's going to give it to Nico George.
And Zane Nur is really that all-around guy. Not that much of a scorer. Has yet to really shoot or make a three so far this year. But he gets rebounds. He gets assists.
Nico George showing off his handles as the freshman Powell puts up a deep three, and it's no good. And it's going to be a rebound there by Justin Pippen. Pippen looking for number 4. No good, but he's fouled. So Ethan Johnson fouled there as the first quarter comes to a close. So we will start off this second quarter with free throws.
And George has found himself in and out of this lineup. He started the last 2 games, but has been taken out due to really unlikeliness, poor shooting from him, and some turnovers. But right there, that's exactly how you get more playing time, make moves like that. And you'll immediately start to see more playing time come your way. As these free throws will be taken before the quarter ends.
Ethan Johnson, number 4 for the Blazers here, 6'4" senior. The shooting guard makes his first. Seats are beginning to fill up. Decent turnout here tonight. Johnson for the second free throw is going to be the last play of the first quarter, and it's no good.
And good board by Zane there, and that will end the first quarter. So very good first quarter so far for these Loyola Cubs, keeping the Trailblazers to 12. But Loyola hasn't scored a bucket really in kind of a while.
But, you know, you could view it as a positive is that a lot of the Cubs' errors have been self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't necessarily say the Blazers have been beating the Cubs here early. I think the Cubs have been beating themselves here with a lot of turnovers, a lot of missed opportunities. But then again, you know, I really would have liked to see us come out extra hot out of the gate, get a lead after the first quarter, because, you know, with the skill, the size, the talent of this Trailblazer team, they're going to come back into this one. So I would have loved to have built a little bit of a cushion, but we don't have that, so it's going to be tough the rest of the
game. It will be also interesting to see as to how Coach Powell manages Jonas's minutes.
Yeah.
Because Jonas, when he was out there, scored 5 of the Loyola's 8 points. Yeah. So if he doesn't go in as much as when they're limiting how much play time he gets because of his recent injury, then Loyola could be staring at a lot of work ahead of them.
This Trailblazer team obviously got some celebrity pedigree amongst their rank. You have Scottie Pippen, Scottie Pippen's son, Jordan Pippen, Bryce James, obviously LeBron James's son. As Pippen has the ball, he's going to give it to James. It's number 3, no good there for number 4, Ethan Johnson. Pippen with the ball again. Number 22, that's Jaden Alexander. Back to Pippen. Pippen to Alexander. Alexander pulls the 3, and it is good. Swish. 15-8 Blazers as they extend their lead here in the opening part of the second quarter.
Have you noticed for Loyola a lot of movement just because of how tall this team is? A lot of movement on the offensive side of the ball as well as a lot of movement on the defensive side of the ball, doubling each person that gets a pass. As Loyola turns it over there, and you can't have that happen here in this time of the game.
So Klein turns the ball over there while Bryce James was on defense. Pippen with the ball is going to take it up the court. Jordan Pippen, the senior guard, is going to give it to number 10, Bryce James, the junior forward. As Pippen throws it off the backside of the backboard but stays in somehow. James with the ball now at the top of the key. Gives it back to Alexander.
Shot clock countdown from 12.
Blazers looking for something. Cubs playing good defense here as Watson's locking up number 11, Noah Williams. As Noah Williams finds James on the cut. Williams puts it up, and it is good.
Great defensive possession there from Loyola. Just cannot finish it. As Jonas is going to get more minutes, hopefully he can help spark something in this Loyola offense. As Loyola really has yet to score since halfway through that first quarter.
Number 4, Quincy Watson. I mean, look at that. Just such a young talent out there. He played in the Sierra Canyon game last year at Sierra Canyon, and as a freshman, maybe 5'8", he was guarding Bronny James. So, Quincy is just, Coach Powell cannot speak more highly of Quincy. He's a real leader on this team as only a sophomore, which is really an impressive feat.
Looks like Hugh will check back in for Nur. Nur had a little scuffle there at the end of the play. I don't know if we caught that on camera.
Bryce Cofield checking in, the highly sought after prospect. Cofield could be a potential NBA lottery pick. And that's going to be Pippen working. He's going to give it to Alexander. Alexander to James. James looks for the shot, not there. Gives it back to Alexander. Cofield with it in the corner. Gives it to Pippen. Pippen back to Cofield. Cofield driving on the baseline. Gives it to James. James to Alexander. Alexander to Pippen. Wide open 3, and he misses. But the Blazers get their own board. They are dominating the offensive glass right now.
Loyola's playing good, tough, hard defense.
Cofield puts up a nice mid-range jumper, but not good. Got up over Hugh, but not good enough. Nico driving. Going to give it to Hugh on the fast break. It's going to be an offensive foul, I believe, there on the Cubs. Yeah. Offensive foul there on Hugh Vanderway, number 33. Couldn't stop his momentum in time and ended up running into the Sierra Canyon defender. So a tough break there for the Cubs. They cannot afford to be giving away these possessions, as the Trailblazers have been extending their lead here in the early going.
And Loyola can't be working this hard on defense for their offense not to be producing the way it should be right now.
Bernstein working on Pippen.
They're playing fantastic defense right now, doubling every single person that touches the ball. Really, the Trailblazers have not had the best answer for it yet.
James from the corner. Bryce James, no good. As Hugh has it, he's going to look for the fast break. He has Quincy, and rejected by Bryce James. Wow, that looks familiar, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Seen his dad do that a few times.
And there's a carryover call on Loyola ball. And a great block there. I mean, man, when you're 6'5" going against Quincy Williams, who's not the tallest guy on this team.
So
that's bound to happen.
So Bryce James with a nice defensive play stops a almost surely made layup there by Quincy.
As Loyola is down by 9 here, looking to hopefully cut into this lead before half. We got 5 minutes left of this first half.
Merrick working on Alexander. Back to Quincy. Hugh in the corner looking for an outlet pass. And he gets the ball stripped from him, but a foul is going to be called there on number 11, Noah Williams. Both teams getting into a little bit of foul trouble early. Refs have not been afraid to blow that whistle.
I mean, very cliche of Loyola teams. I mean, very fundamental. A lot of Loyola teams play that way. They don't normally have the best athletes who can just carry one team. It's normally a team effort. And so far, Loyola on defense has been giving that team effort. On offense, they need to start clicking.
Definitely. As DeCross is working along the baseline, he's going to try and find Watson, and he does. Watson puts up the mid-range, no good. And it's going to be Pippen with the rebound there for the Blazers as he takes it back up the court. Pushed into a corner by the Cubs defense there. They're going to find number 5. That's Donovan Averett in the corner, no good. But the 7-footer, Majuk Chol, is back in the game, and he's going to be a nightmare for the Cubs to try and rebound over. Absolute nightmare.
As Hugh is going to have a problem rebounding tonight, even though he's had the most all season for the Cubs with 102, but he just needs to focus on the task at hand right now.
As the 7-footer Chol gets the ball, but they give it back to number 22, Jaden Alexander, who misses the 3, and the board is Hugh Vanderway with the board there. As he gives it to Powell, the freshman guard, looking for someone. They got to get it over the center line, and they do. Give it to Quincy, number 4. And they find DeCrossel in the corner. DeCrossel looking for a shot, none there. He's going to give it to Bernstein. Bernstein to Powell. Powell working on the baseline. Puts it up, no good. Pass to Vanderway, and it is good.
And finally, Loyola's first offensive possession turns into some buckets as Pippen tries to respond.
Scoring down as Pippen misses the 3, and Powell's fouled again. So this freshman making his impact felt. Tyson Powell. Coach Powell's son, but
man, Tyson Powell has been a dog on defense so far, and you see it there again. Getting boards, getting steals.
Vanderway taking the ball up court. He's double teamed, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Majuk Chol.
That's got to be a tough offensive way to go against a 7-footer. I mean, the reach that he has alone.
His wingspan is
man.
Insane. Quincy looking for someone to get open, and it's going to be DeCrossel. DeCrossel has the ball at the top of the court. He's going to find Quincy. Quincy looking for a shot back to DeCrossel. DeCrossel pulls a deep 3. No good. Honestly, I don't really love that shot there from DeCrossel. I think
Me neither.
I'd love to have kept the ball a little more, get our defense a little rest. But not to be there, as it's going to be Jaden Alexander with the ball. Now it's Jordan Askew with the ball. Bernstein playing defense as Majuk Chol sets the screen. Bernstein gets around it easily. It's going to be Quincy now on defense. Bernstein with the ball working on Askew. They give it to 11. Noah Williams. No good. It's going to be a foul on the 7-footer. Majuk Chol, Cub ball. So an over-the-back foul there from Majuk Chol.
I think that might be 3 on him so far today.
Yeah.
It looks like Loyola will take a full timeout.
Definitely somebody to keep an eye on. So with that full timeout, it really Powell's putting his cards on the table. He is drawing up a play. He knows that this is a must-score possession for this Cub team.
And so far, like we said, I mean, defense hasn't been the problem at all for this Cubs team. I mean, you're watching the same game we are. So far, I mean, only 2 points so far in this second quarter, which is not something you really want to see on the stat sheet. But hopefully Coach Powell is telling them just to get it going on offense quickly. And like we said, it's got to be hard to shoot over because a lot of these guys are shorter than this other team. It's got to be harder to shoot threes. So maybe don't look for those deep threes like Jonas did. Maybe try to get down low, move around, set some picks, see what happens.
But you know what really is true? This is basketball is a game of runs. So Loyola got off to the hot start. Sierra Canyon then answered. But if Loyola can get if these Cubs can get hot and these shots start to fall, this is a very different game. They are still well within striking distance here.
I mean, 7 points, a game can flip like that. That's only 2 threes and a 2-pointer.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Technically a 2-possession game if you get fouled while you take a 3.
Yep. That's what's great about basketball. It can flip on your head immediately. It can flip one way or the other, and hopefully Loyola can get some momentum going their way.
Quincy just been so impressive here in the first half. Just an unyielding spirit and a willingness to get down and dirty on defense.
So is Bernstein. Bernstein's played pretty
Merrick,
good,
Merrick with that big 3-pointer also playing some really great defense. Merrick just a great guy. He had a Spanish class with him last year and was just a great Spanish student and a great basketball player. As they're going to give it back to Watson. Watson to Bernstein. Bernstein finds Quincy on a nice cut. Quincy with a mid-range jumper and knocks it down.
That's on the elbow for Quincy.
So Cubs are going to have to start making shots like that if they want to get back in this game, and that's a good start right there.
Quincy
As number 11, Noah Williams has the ball.
Quincy's shooting nearly 40% from the floor, so one of Loyola's best shooters.
Definitely.
Really, he gets all that percentage from his outside shots, though. As
Deep three, no good. Watson there with the board. Tough board there. Took a collision. He's going to be taking the ball up the court, signaling for Hugh to come set one for him, and he does, but doesn't end up using it. Looking for an outlet pass. He finds it in the form of Vanderway. Vanderway taking it up the right side. He's going to give it back to Quincy. It's going to be Powell setting the screen, but pretty tough for a 5'8" person to set a screen on a 7-footer as Powell takes a tumble. Just was not big enough, and that's going to be a foul there on Quincy. Quincy doesn't like the call, and he's going to let the ref know about it, but that looked like a foul to me. Watson claiming that was all ball, but I don't think it was, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not a bad foul, though, because they were on the fast break, and I think that was a guaranteed bucket if he didn't do it. It's going to be number 0, Jordan Askew with the ball for the Blazers. It's going to be stripped there by the freshman as they're going to give it to Quincy. Quincy taking it up the court, trying to make something happen. DeCrasso along the baseline. He's going to find Vanderway in the corner. Vanderway for 3, and it's good.
Let's go.
So a big bucket there for the Cubs as they have now scored 7 unanswered.
And Hugh Vanderway with the second most made threes on this team adds another to his tally here. He's shooting over 40% from outside the arc.
And this game is within 2 points now. And that 3 is no good, and Cubs get the board again.
And like we
So
just talked about,
Vanderway.
the game can flip just like that.
Just like that.
And Frank, right now, it's flipping, man.
Vanderway getting the board over the 7-foot-tall person and misses the shot. Vanderway wanted the foul there, but not going to get it as it's going to be number 5. That's Donovan
that was very
Abbott.
close, and
it's
it
going to be a
was.
backcourt violation. So, wow, these Cubs have just really been taking advantage of the Sierra Canyon miscues here as Vanderway checks out, Bernstein checks out, and it's going to be Kai Klein and Joe Murner coming back for these Cubs.
And I'm excited to see what Kai Klein can do. He hasn't really gotten the ball much. Hopefully he can produce as much as Vanderway did here in the second quarter.
Kai Klein, just an absolute stellar athlete. He's one of those guys who could have played at the varsity level on any sport of his choosing. Ultimately decided to focus on basketball, and he's making his impact felt on the varsity squad here. As that's going to be stolen, it's going to be number 22, Jaden Alexander, with a nice defensive play and taking it cross court there to score.
And these refs are kind of letting them play. There's been a lot of down low, a lot of physicality within the paint. Let's see if that continues here. Or let's see if the refs keep giving the call.
That's going to be a foul there. So Powell, the freshman guard, picks up the foul there. He's going to get fouled. He didn't pick up the foul.
And 30 seconds left here.
Magic Troll, another foul on him, I believe.
Is that another one?
So he might be getting into some foul trouble as we approach halftime.
And just like we said, he is taken out there. That's again could be something to watch out for only in the second quarter, and I think that might be his third or fourth foul.
Magic comes out. Cofield checks in. Not really any loss of talent there. Both are stellar players. It's going to be DeCrasso with the ball. Cubs, as time winds down, might hold for the last shot here. No, they're not. DeCrasso's going to put it up. No good. I don't love that either.
Me neither.
It's going to be Pippen with the ball. Finds it 11. Noah Williams.
Oh, very nearly got a turnover there.
Very nearly saved there by Murner, but it's going to remain Blazer ball with 10 seconds left.
Like we said, Powell has 16 steals coming off the bench. That's third most on the team, and he doesn't even start. So that is absolutely a testament to how much of a dog he is on defense.
Tenacious.
Exactly. Matai Carter comes in. So
Matai Carter, another freshman coming in.
Another freshman, yep. Nerd comes in for the last 10.6 seconds. Maybe just some fresh legs here.
Cofield and tries to go for the slam, doesn't get it. So maybe the ego there ended up costing the team, but not really because they hit the 3. And that brings us into half. So at the half, the score is 22-15 Blazers. Honestly, if you're the Cubs, you can't be too bummed about that. Good half of basketball from the Cubs. They are well in this game, and I'm excited for the second half to unfold.
Saying we're going to take a break here for about 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll catch you guys when we come back. We're good?
As,
All right, we're back.
as the sound of the mighty roar fills the atmosphere of Levy Gymnasium, we are preparing for the second half of this tightly contested contest of the Sierra Canyon Trailblazers and Loyola Cubs battling out in this early Mission League matchup.
Second league game for both of these two teams. And unfortunately for the Cubs, their first game ended in a loss. And Sierra Canyon, they had a hard-fought game against Chaminade. And like assistant coach Howe said earlier, he said that it's always hard to come play on the road, especially in Mission League. As you see here tonight, a lot of people here, and it's a great atmosphere so far. I think it personally should be sold out, but fortunately, it's not the not the best. You were talking about that earlier. You came to a
yeah.
a
You
game.
know, I remember when I was younger, I'd come to the games back in the day when it would be Loyola, Harvard West, like big rivalry game. It'd be standing room only.
Yeah, I mean, even with volleyball too, it was like Costa is huge, but not really anymore. I mean, playing football, there wasn't that many people that showed up to our home games, but St. Francis, that's like everyone shows up to that game, and I thought this game would be the game for some of the Cubs. I mean, this is the one that a lot of them circled on their calendar, like we're playing against Scottie Pippen's son.
Well, the players, you wouldn't know it from the players.
Exactly. I mean,
They've been playing their hearts out.
The players have showed up. The fans have partly showed up, but all we need is the players to show up. Am I right? And that's all you need.
We're ready to get underway for the second half. It's going to be number 21, Matai Carter, starting the half by inbounding it to number 2, DeCrasso. DeCrasso working on Pippin, gives it to Bernstein up at the top of the court, the 7-footer. Majuk Chol guarding Bernstein. Bernstein trying to make something happen, drives, finds Quincy. Quincy in the corner, puts up a 3, no good. Pippin there on the board. He's going to give it to number 22, I believe that's Jaden Alexander, who goes coast to coast, and Bryce Cole. No, Jaden with the bucket there.
Man, that speed was deadly right there.
Real fast. Bernstein thought about putting up the shot, but thought better of it, and gets a timeout there by Powell. So Powell didn't like what he was seeing.
Interesting. Timeout call
Took the
right
timeout.
there.
I mean, I think he thought that maybe not incorrectly that Bernstein was in some trouble there.
And yeah, like we said earlier, the refs have really let them play out tonight. I mean, it's been very physical, and that was an example right there of it. No foul call on Bernstein, and it had to force Powell to call a timeout as he didn't want to lose the ball. As we're still in a pretty close game here, I mean, only 9 points separate this team. I mean, Loyola scores 1-3, and they're right back in this game.
And Carson, it looks like number 10, Bryce James, is actually indeed injured. He was late coming out of the locker room and is walking gingerly on that leg of his.
And that's obviously not good to see for the player, but it could be a plus for Loyola as they will have to not worry about one less.
Hugh with the ball, going to give it to DeCrasso. DeCrasso finds Bernstein. Bernstein back to Hugh. Hugh puts up a 3 and misses badly there with the air ball.
Great hustle there by the freshman.
Yeah, Quincy now with the ball. Gives it back to DeCrasso. Good job there by Matai Carter to get that ball. DeCrasso working on number 22, Jaden Alexander. Finds Bernstein and doesn't get the shot off in time. He gets blocked. And it would have been a shot clock violation even if they had recovered the ball. Pippin with the ball. Back to Bryce Cofield, number 12, an imposing presence as Pippin takes the 3 and knocks it down.
Foul.
So Pippin knocks the 3 down and is fouled. So with an opportunity to convert the 4-point play here, Cubs off to a very poor start in the second half of basketball.
As the freshman gets subbed out, and it's been a very kind of lackadaisical response here in the second half so far for Loyola. They need to get a fire lit under them to hopefully come back in this game.
Definitely. And Pippin misses the free throw. But Blazers get their own board and are fouled almost immediately.
And Loyola can't have that happen. I mean, we need those. Those are quality boards that we need to get. And I know Hughes played a lot. I'm sure his legs are tired, but he's got to push for 2 more quarters, man.
So that's number 11, Noah Williams, on the line, and he makes the first of his free throws.
I think this is the second pair tonight.
John Malloy Broadcast Club, home of all Cubs sports. Find us at cubcast.org.
Yep, 20 seconds, yeah.
And just like that, their lead has doubled from 7 at the half to 14 now. And we are only 90 seconds into the second half. Berenstein able to lose Pippen, and the Cubs have the ball. Berenstein with the ball. He's going to give it to Quincy. Quincy pulls a deep three, and it's good.
Got it. There we go.
They needed that one.
For sure. Quincy.
Pippen driving quickly. He's going to give it to Cofield. Cofield driving in. And Bernstein
Take it down, and offensive foul.
Berenstein, great job to step up and take that charge from number 12, Bryce Cofield. You know, that's not like taking a charge from a little – that's not taking a charge from a little point guard, because Bryce Cofield is a really filled out frame and an imposing guy out there. But he's able to do it as the Cubs are battling for that ball. I think it's going to be a timeout there by Powell.
Timeout by Powell. I mean,
so Cubs have to burn another timeout, but they're able to retain possession there.
I mean, you have 2 timeouts left here, and you still have basically full quarters left. And we talked about earlier how Berenstein has been playing a fantastic game, and he gets a start here in the second half, and that's, I mean, you see why he gets those starts. This is why.
Gritty player. So Powell putting all of his cards on the table there with that timeout. He's saying we need to get back in this game right now, and I'm willing to call these timeouts in order for that to happen. You know, the players talk about how much they love Coach Powell. Really an inspirational figure to these guys, and also a great math teacher.
I mean, these Loyola guys, they haven't been able to break the Trailblazers press basically kind of all game so far. If they're full court pressing, Loyola's got to figure out a way to break it. And if they do, they got to get some quick buckets off of it.
Definitely. So let's see what can be done here. Kai Klein is going to be inbounding this ball for the Cubs. I believe that's number 11, Noah Williams, playing defense. Gives it to Vanderway. Vanderway back to Klein, and the Cubs are going to break the press there. They give it to Quincy. Quincy pulls up but doesn't take the shot. Gives it to DeCrassel, but it's back to Watson. Quincy gives it back to Jonas. Jonas back to Quincy quickly. Quincy working around the three-point line, and DeCrassel slowing it down here.
And Watson's best shots have come inside the arc. He's shooting over 60%.
Watson puts up a three, but doesn't actually pull the trigger there. And he puts up a floater, no good. It's a good take there from Quincy. I like that offensive possession there from the Cubs as Pippen's going to drive and get fouled.
Berenstein there again involved in the defense as Nur comes back in. Nur's also played a pretty decent game so far.
Yeah, Nur's played well.
Looks like we have 3 new Cubs coming in. We have the freshman, Powell, Murner also coming in. As Pippen takes his first one. Chuo comes out. In place for him comes Elohim. Pippen about to take his second. Vanderway comes off. Klein comes off. And DeCrassel also comes off. So Loyola, very small ball right now. Very, very small ball.
Makes his second free throw and steals that inbound pass from Nur. And it's going to be another foul on the Cubs. So a disastrous sequence there for the Cubs as they give up the free throw.
Another foul there for Zane. I think that might be his third on the night.
So Nur off the bench, already getting into some foul trouble. Not what he wants to do. It's number 11, Noah Williams. Gives it to Jordan Pippen. Pippen at the volleyball dividing line. He's going to give it to number 2, Isaiah Elohim.
And there's offensive foul.
And it's an offensive foul.
So Loyola been able to draw some good fouls here.
Break there for the Cubs, for sure.
All 5 of Loyola's players in their backcourt here.
Bernstein fighting off Blazer defenders that are on all sides of him. They give it to Watson. Watson thinks about pulling the three, but doesn't. It's Murner working. Bernstein with the ball now. Bernstein, Pippen on defense. Bernstein looking for something. Nice crossover move behind the back there as Watson pulls a deep
And
three
there we go.
and knocks it down.
And that is why Bernstein has started this second half so far for the Cubs. He makes plays happen, and Watson hits the three.
Big time there. Number 2, Isaiah Elohim knocks down the three with an answer there for the Blazers. So Watson, the point guard, inbounds it to Nur. Nur off the freshman Powell's foot and laid up there by Bryce Cofield.
I was just about to say it. Loyola cannot, and another timeout taken, and he only has one left remaining. And Loyola cannot afford to, A, make those mistakes, and B, be in a shootout right now. They are too far down, and it kind of feels like Loyola could be a little cat and mouse right now with Sierra Canyon. I mean, I think Sierra Canyon played with their prey in the first half, and now are taking it to them in the second. Let's see if Loyola can respond.
I would definitely agree that these next few minutes are absolutely crucial to this Cubs team. If they want to have any chance of being competitive in this game, they have to go on a big run right here.
You just got to think about it as one stop, one score, one stop, one score, and just keep grinding. When Loyola was right in this game, they still can be. They just gotta hunker down defensively and get some shots to fall in.
Yeah. So Powell trying to draw something up to get the boys fired up, but already 3 timeouts burned in the very early going of the second half. Not even halfway done with the third quarter. But yeah, like I said earlier, he's putting all of his chips, pushing the ball into the middle of the table. He's saying, I'm going all in on getting some momentum here in this third quarter. As it's going to be Murner with the ball, working up the court, looking for someone to be open, and he has to go back to Powell. Powell loses the ball. Cofield playing tight defense. It's going to be back to Watson. Watson finds Murner to Krassel for 3.
Got it. There we go. And hopefully the nerves aren't getting to the freshman Powell there, as he's made 2 kind of sketchy plays so far.
Cubs needed
and
that
another
one.
respond. There's another and one.
Number 11, that's Noah Williams there with the bucket and the foul with a chance to complete the 3-point play.
And Powell has been kind of shaky here in this second half of play. Played a pretty decent first half, but just does not look like himself here in the second. As Vanderway will check in, and Powell will get taken out.
So some size back on the floor for the Cubs. As the free throw from Williams is no good. Unable to convert on the 3-point play there, so it's going to be Murner taking the ball up the court. Looking for someone open. He's going to find Bernstein. Bernstein back to Murner. Finds Watson in the corner. Watson puts up a 3. No good. Oh, no good.
Oh, you're going to play
Bounced
that? Okay.
around the rim there, but no good. It's going to be Isaiah Elohim taking it up the court. Gives it back to Williams for 3. No good. Vanderway with the ball now. Back to DeCrassel. DeCrassel fighting off Cofield. Elohim coming in to help. Finds Quincy. Quincy able to take it up past midcourt. Finds Murner. Murner along the baseline. Ball stripped. Vanderway with it now. Vanderway in the corner. Gives it back to Murner. Murner to Watson. Watson to DeCrassel. Cubs are moving this ball well along the perimeter, but can they make something out of it? Watson working on Cofield. Back to Bernstein. Bernstein now on Noah Williams. Watson driving. Floater. No good. Board there by Noah Williams. Back to Williams. Williams finds 22, Jaden Alexander in the corner, who misses the 3, and the Cubs get the board. That's 22, Quincy Watson. Point number 4, Quincy Watson, sorry. Now it's going to be Hugh taking the ball up the court, and he throws it away. Wow.
And Loyola, very, very good.
Miscommunication, just poor communication there.
They've got to take advantage of these missed shots here, because Sierra Canyon really has kind of gone cold so far right now. I mean, they were hitting almost every shot to start the second half, and they've missed their last 3 possessions now.
That's Jordan Askew, the sophomore point guard, taking it up the court. Only 6 feet tall. Only 6 feet tall. He's one of the smaller players in the Sierra Canyon roster. As it's going to be number 11, Noah Williams, with a nice cut and layup there. And immediately playing defense there on Hugh. Hugh able to get it up court. Physical play there on Williams. Hugh working tightly there on Williams. He's going to give it to DeCrassel. DeCrassel, deep three.
Same spot.
No good.
Can't hit it.
It's going to be a foul on the floor, and I think it's going to be staying with the Cubs. So a foul there on the Blazers. A bit of a break there for the Cubs after the missed shot there from DeCrassel.
And Loyola keeps trading baskets with the Trailblazers. I mean, they went from down by 14 to 15, back down to 14, now up to 16. And that's not what they need right now. They need a couple shots to go in, and they need defensive stops.
Nico George with the ball now on the inbound. It's going to be a 5-second violation, man. That can't happen. That just cannot happen.
I think Powell tried to call a timeout there, but couldn't get it. A little frustration there from the coach.
Another offensive possession just thrown away there by the Cubs. Kind of a recurring theme of the night, a motif of the night, if you will. It's going to be Askew working with the ball. He's playing point right now. And it looks like Sierra Canyon has put a few of their subs in. Or they're not playing their starting 5 really right now. It looks like some of these faces are getting some minutes that they haven't been getting the rest of the night.
Looks like Sierra Canyon coach a little aggressive there. I mean, Loyola, we talked about in the beginning of the game, one of Coach Powell's keys to the game was limit turnovers. And they've tried not to get turnovers. We talked about how Sierra Canyon punishes teams who give them free possessions, and that's exactly what Loyola has done here in the second half. Nearly all of Sierra Canyon's points have come off of a Loyola-inflicted mistake.
Definitely. Yeah, we've said it many times over the course of this game, but Loyola just shooting themselves in the foot. Although now I would say Sierra Canyon has been playing, I think has been playing more up to their potential.
Yeah, I think so too. I think in the first half they were maybe a little bit nervous coming into an away game. This is now their second straight away game. So now Watson checking back in, hopefully give a spark to this team.
Watson coming out. On the floor right now for the Cubs is Murner, Powell, George, Vanderway, and DeCrassel. It's number 11, Noah Williams with the bucket. And this is slowly starting to get out of hand here as it's an 18-point game.
And Sierra Canyon has really played really fluid offense so far here in the second half.
As this could turn ugly fast. DeCrassel with the ball. Askew playing tight defense, and he's double-teamed and turns it over. That was a forced turnover there by the strong Sierra Canyon defense, but man,
I feel like Frank has said Loyola turnover almost every single possession so far in this half for Loyola.
Definitely too many. One too many. I mean, one time would be too many, but
yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Loyola, a pretty good team, a pretty disciplined team when it comes to turnovers in other games. I don't know, maybe it's just, it could be Sierra Canyon's defense, or it could just be Loyola potentially being afraid of the team that they're playing.
Askew pulls the three, no good. It's Powell, number 11 with the board. He's going to give it to Kai Klein, that's number 13. Klein working on finding someone. He's going to, I think it's a foul. Foul on number 4, that's Ethan Johnson. That's Johnson's second personal foul, and the 4th foul on the Blazers this half. Watson going to inbound it to Vanderway. Vanderway working on number 11, Noah Williams. Gets up past midcourt. He's going to find Watson there with the pass. Watson, long cross-court pass there to Powell. Powell back to Watson. Watson working on the double team. Back to Powell. Powell. Watson. 3. No good. And look at that. Scrappy play there by Powell to force the jump ball.
Unfortunately, a possession arrow will go towards Sierra Canyon. I was just thinking about the matchup between Hugh Vanderway and Noah Williams. They have been battling all night, especially when they've gone full court press for the Trailblazers. They've been going after it on each other. It's been a great battle to watch. Hopefully Hugh can get a couple more points to score on him.
Definitely. As that skew is going to work, and he's going to find Ethan Johnson in the corner who misses that shot.
I mean, you can
Hugh
bet.
double team. Hugh looking for someone. He's going to find Watson. Watson double team now. Watson, it's going to be a jump ball, I believe. It should be a jump ball, which in the arrow will go towards Loyola.
I mean, you can bet that a lot of college coaches are probably going to be watching this game, so Loyola players trying to show out, maybe potentially get their name on a roster sheet somewhere D1 or D2.
Most definitely. As that's going to be Nico George. The ball as time winds down here in this third quarter, 20 seconds remaining. And he's going to be fouled there by number 12, Bryce Cofield. Cofield, the junior guard, is 6'6" and 192 pounds. Bigger than any one player on the Loyola team.
Coach Andre Chevalier for Sierra Canyon is very animated in this second half, even though his team is nearly up by 20 points.
Well, you know, if you want to create an elite program like Sierra Canyon has, as George knocks down the first free throw, you have to emphasize culture over everything, and you have to be a stickler for the little things. So even when you are winning big, you have to emphasize, you have to harp on those things just to maintain that culture of excellence. As George goes 2 for 2 from the line, and Cubs start to maybe chip into this lead here. And that's going to be an offensive foul. So nice little stretch of plays there for the Cubs as they get the ball back.
It's like Nico might have jammed his finger there. He's holding it kind of gingerly. Something to watch there on his right hand. That's his dominant hand.
Nico, obviously a tough player. He's not going to let a jammed finger stop him from playing in a big game like this. And Watson's going to heave it at the end of the quarter, and it's not going to find the basket. So at the end of the third quarter, it's 26-42. Blazers lead by 16. Cubs are going to have a pretty miraculous final quarter here if they want to come out of this on top. But a lot to still play for here. As if they can play the Blazers close, it would do a lot for this team's morale.
Yeah, really only 16 points. I mean, like we said, they can't trade baskets. That's the one thing they can't do in this situation. They can't afford to give up stupid turnovers, and Watson or DeCrassel or even Bernstein has to get hot shooting the ball, because right now Loyola has just been ice cold shooting the ball here in the third quarter.
Powell trying to draw something up here.
Watson averaging over 10 points a game. Has he hit it? I think he has, right? Has he hit it yet?
Yeah. Watson's definitely been a great player here for the Cubs. As we get underway in this fourth quarter of basketball, it's going to be Justin Pippen, starting the ball. Jordan Pippen, that's not right. As Cofield has the ball, now he's going to give it to number 22, Jaden Alexander. Alexander to Johnson. Johnson to Cofield. Cubs fans wanted to travel there, but nothing called as Pippen has the ball in the corner. He's going to be working on George. George to Cofield. Cofield along the baseline, no good. Blazers get their own board, put it up, no good, put it up again, and it's going to be Cofield with the tip-in basket.
And Sierra Canyon now just looking to milk every single second off that shot clock as they continue to press up court here.
Hugh working, finds Klein, Vanderway, no good. Quincy, shot from Watson is no good. So Cubs missed 2 shots there in that possession. Fast break now for the Blazers. They give it, and that's going to be number 4, Ethan Johnson, laying it in. And for the first time tonight, the Blazers are up by 20.
Rough for Loyola, man. They had a couple open spot-up shots there, and nothing to it.
Absolutely nothing falling right now for the Cubs, as it's going to be Hugh in the corner, working on number 11, Noah Williams.
Man, it could just be one of those nights, too.
Jonas, corner 3, and
there
it's
we
good.
go. Start to get going here. Start to get hot for the Crassel. No press from the Cubs. Only George was the only one who responded fast and was up there to press.
Kai Klein playing defense there on Ethan Johnson, and now it's number 22, Jaden Williams, the ball. Johnson from the corner, no good. But the board there from Cofield out to Alexander, who puts up the floater, that no good as well. DeCrasso with the ball. Cubs now with a bit of momentum. They got some tempo, and
Wow.
that wasn't out of bounds. Wow.
What an athletic
That
play
looked
there.
out of bounds to me, but wow, I guess the athleticism, yeah,
There you go, bro. There you go. We got you. We got you.
of that player there was able to save that. So now it's DeCrasso.
That was Alexander, too. That was a good. He's played very well tonight.
It's going to be a foul there on DeCrasso. DeCrasso going to the charity stripe with a chance to chip even further into this lead. Lead down to 17 now.
Five minutes and 50 seconds left. It looks like we're going to get a couple more substitutions here.
Looks like Murner and number 24.
Jack Jeffrey coming in.
Jack Jeffrey are checking in. I believe he's a sophomore. So this is a young Cub team, a lot of young talent.
Could this be the white flag for Loyola, though, or do they want to keep
Definitely
pushing?
not. Definitely not. Especially after making that 3.
Maybe just fresh legs to start pressing. Hopefully Jeffrey can create a defensive spark here.
Zane Nur coming in for DeCrasso.
Looks like no press whatsoever, only from Bearstein. Maybe the Cubs just want to stay locked down, don't want to give up any big fast break points.
So Pippin has the ball here. He's working on Jack Jeffrey, the sophomore guard. They're going to give it to number 2. I believe that's Isaiah Elahim. Number 11, Noah Williams knocks down the corner 3.
Man, Loyola cannot catch a break. It's like whenever they score points, here Canyon is right there to respond with a 3.
And then some, yeah.
Another turnover. Man.
Elohim driving, puts up the floater, and it's good.
And now 20-point game, and looks like this will be Loyola's final timeout. Man,
So
that's been
Loyola
a
now without an opportunity to stop the clock past this point. It's really dire straits here for the Cubs.
40 seconds, and you saw how that flipped. Sierra Canyon just scored, they scored just 5 points in a matter of 40 seconds. That's just insane.
Yeah.
Rough night for the Cubs. A lot of hope coming into this game. Potentially could have been one of the biggest upsets of the season. But as it's looking right now, it looks like the Sierra Cannon's going to get its 13th straight win of the season. Loyola's got to get 7 threes to get back in this, and man, with how things are not dropping here tonight, that would be highly unlikely, but could happen. Let's see if it does happen.
This Cubs team, one thing they do not lack is heart, so you can bet on them fighting to the very end here. As
They will fight till the final buzzer. I will
Watson
tell you. We
gives
can
it to
guarantee you
Bernstein.
that.
Bernstein working up the court on the 7-footer, Majok. And it's going to be off of Bernstein. Steal there by Majok, and it's going to remain Blazer ball.
And one positive to take out this game for Loyola, they are probably not going to face another team that has 9 collegiate D1 offers on their team.
Yeah.
This is the most athletic team you're going to get.
Up and down there. So it's going to be a Cub turnover.
And not only in the Mission League, but in hopefully in playoffs, they're not going to see a better team likely than Sierra Canyon. So
Yeah, but the thing is, this is, I think we said it earlier, this Mission League schedule is just an absolute gauntlet.
rough. It is
Loyola,
Harvard Westlake.
we already know this from their 77-30 defeat at the hands of the Notre Dame Knights, who are another outstandingly talented team. And looking like they're going to pick up another L here at when Sierra Canyon comes to town. But, there's another big game against reigning state champions Harvard Westlake.
I mean, all it takes is one
Wow.
win. Oh, that's a good foul. I mean, all it takes is one win against one of these top teams, and that just gets your team going. But right now, Loyola's on a 3-game skid, and that's not what you want to be at here.
But I
entering the
mean, there
midpoint of
really
the
is
season.
not a single cupcake, or not even cupcake. There's not a single
Gimme game.
game in this Mission League schedule, because even Crespi, once kind of the punching bag of the Mission League, has really up. Watson trying to call a timeout, but they don't have any timeouts to call. So
They might have one left.
no, I don't think they do.
They shouldn't have one left.
But as I was saying, Crespi, once the perennial punching bag of the Mission League, they have hired Derek Fisher as their head coach.
And his son actually is a freshman this year, which should be
obviously
interesting.
a lot of hype around that program right now when you have an NBA great like Derek Fisher coaching your team. But it is really just a gauntlet. There's no other word to describe it, because St. Francis, they have a great team this year. Harvard Westlake, obviously a great team. Notre Dame, Loyola knows that they have a great team. Sierra Canyon, as you've seen tonight, they are very, very talented. And even Alamany and Chaminade, very competitive teams. So, Loyola really cannot count on any of these teams as guaranteed dubs. But I will say, on the plus side of that, no team you play in playoffs is going to be as challenging as the Mission League teams.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to play in Mission League, especially if you're playing against guys like, I mean, you're playing against NBA legends, they're kids, and that is always never an easy thing. And you got, obviously, like you said, Derek Fisher coaching at Crespi. You got Sierra Canyon with all these talented athletes. You have Harvard Westlake, which, like you said, was last year's state champions. I mean, you got a lot of talent here, but
Isaiah Elohim inbounds it to Pippin.
I mean, it's all about Loyola hopefully getting better, hopefully getting prepped for playoffs.
Pippin with the ball. 22, Jaden Alexander with it. Majo Choi with it. Back to Pippin. Screen there by Magic. Pippin pulls up the mid-range. Knocks it down.
Man, he is nice today. He's really turned on the second half. First half, Pippin was kind of quiet, but this second half, he's really shown why he's a top recruit in the nation.
Yeah. As now it's Hugh with the ball. Hugh really, a lot has been asked of Hugh tonight.
Yeah, he's been facilitating this offense. He's been battling down low. I mean, if you were to blame the game on someone, it sure can't be Hugh. He's been giving it his all tonight.
DeCrassel with Pippin guarding him. DeCrassel's going to give it to Powell. Powell driving. Floater from Powell, no good. It's going to be number 24 checking in for his first appearance here for the Blazers. That's number 24, Cameron Martin, the
also
senior guard.
Very good from Jonas. Jonas, this is really his first game.
22, Alexander airballs the three. No good again. So Cubs get another defensive stop, and, it's all about dignity at this point, as that's going to be stolen there, so not much dignity there, as Pippin is going to be fouled.
As Hugh tried to play defense on 3 separate guys, and Pittman just lays it in. But, I mean, give a lot of credit to Jonas, too. This is really his first game fully back from injury, and he's looked like his old self from last year.
But, it really is noteworthy. Cameron Martin just checking in right now for the Cubs, getting his first minutes here with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, is bigger than any one player on the Loyola roster. So it just goes to show how deep this Blazer team is. They are just such a talented and deep team.
Looks like we have another checking in.
Stephen Cancole, another 6'5" player, just checking in now in the fourth quarter. Cancole is a sophomore shooting guard.
And we also have Chris Kane also checking in there. Pippin and looks like, I think, Elohim, the only starters out there.
And he makes the other
for Sierra Canyon.
throw. And at this point, this game is over. 27-point game. At this point, this game is over. You got to wonder why is Sierra Canyon even pressing at this point? You got to wonder.
I mean, like you said earlier, it's all about the small details for a top flight program, and that's exactly what Sierra Canyon is. I mean, the coach just sat down since the start of the second half, so I mean Now the assistant coach is up. I mean, they're hammering in all the final details, getting ready for what's likely open division or
Yeah.
D1 playoffs for them.
Oh, Sierra Canyon's going to be open division. After this game, they're going to be 18-1 as Kai Klein lays it in for the bucket.
Speaking of 18-1, their only loss came against Desert Mountain, which is outside of this region. I think outside of California,
Yeah.
I think.
As that shot there from Martin is no good, but he gets his own board. He's going to be moving along the baseline, puts up the shot, no good there. Kind of an ugly-looking drive there, as I think it's Mackay with the ball now. Mackay gives it to Kai. Kai now gives it to Murner. Murner gives it to Hugh. Hugh pulls up a three, trying to get it over Askew there, and he doesn't. Nico George with the drive, and he's fouled, but it's going to be an offensive foul.
Nico George also responding well tonight. Did not get the start like he asked for. Did not get the start that he got. And yeah, so my boy Frank just got a compliment from one of the fans here, so we always appreciate that from any of that. And
Most definitely.
and yeah, so if you guys want to keep watching John Malloy broadcast, I think hopefully Frank can be with me on a couple of
Definitely.
the rest of the basketball games.
Askew with the drive, and it's going to find knocks down.
Elohan knocks down another one. And man, from how close this game was to now the final score, and
Murner throws it away. It's going to be another offensive foul.
Unlucky for Murner though.
And the Sierra Canyon bench is loving it. This game is officially over now.
1 minute and 30 seconds left. Loyola playing to the final whistle is blown.
Askew going to give it to Elohim. 24, Cameron Martin with it now. Number 3, that's Stephen Cancole. Cancole back to Elohim. Elohim driving, gets fouled.
And the refs really here letting a lot of stuff go except for the most obvious calls. With this game being nearly a 30-point game. It looks like Klein will come out. Looks like number 15.
Number 15, Jake Harper checking in for the Cubs, the junior guard, as well as number 23 coming in for the Cubs. Number 23 is Quinn Campo, a sophomore forward. So 15, Jake Harper, another good friend of mine. Really hard worker. You love to see him getting some minutes here in the end of this game as he knocks down that one.
So it's going to be a final sub, and there goes
Donovan Avarit coming in.
the final starter. Elohim is out, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of backups here for both sides.
They're still pressing heavily on George. Number 22, Jaden Alexander. I think he may have been. He may have started.
32.
22? Oh, it's 32.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah. Not a starter. Harper trying to find something. Gives it to Zane.
Unlucky there from Zane.
Harper playing good defense there, and he gets the steal, so it's going to be Cub ball there. Nice defensive play there from Harper.
No, Harper should have started the whole second half if he was going to play like that.
Yeah.
Unlucky there.
As this game has 49 seconds left. Cubs looking to get some points back, hopefully end it on a positive note to carry into the next game. It's going to be Harper in the neon green shoes there, working on number 0, Askew. Back to George. Stolen there by Askew. Askew going to take it, only Harper to beat, and he does beat him.
Less than 30 seconds now remain as George takes it up that left side.
This game is in its death throes here, and it is not going to be a game that these Cubs want to remember. A lot of hype coming into this game. Obviously, anytime you play Scottie Pippen's son, LeBron's son, you know a lot of eyes are going to be on you. Cubs had a very promising first half and had some moments here in the second half, but ultimately not able to do anything, and they fall by
to 12 and 9.
They fall to 12 and 9, and they lose by what's looking like going to be more than 30 points. So really, just not a great showing.
So out of bounds is called there, not a foul. 10.3 seconds left. Sierra Can will just run this out, and I Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. We appreciate all the viewers that we have. And we will see you next time on the John Malloy broadcast. I think we have a couple soccer games next week, and I think one basketball game next week as well.
Thank you for
As
watching.
Loyola will take on Harvard Westlake next, and we will see you guys then. Thank you so much for
It's been a pleasure to
watching.
bring this game to you. Thank you for watching, and let's get a W next time.